Well, good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a singular honor and privilege for me to welcome you all to the first ever Career Development Seminar organized by the University of Maiduguri Alumni Kogi State Chapter. It's a great honor for me to anchor this program, and you are all welcome. As we have on the flyer with us, the program theme is Empowering Futures, Career Development and Opportunities for UNIMAID alumni and students. So what it means is that this program is organized for both alumni and students who are currently at our dear alma mater, the University of Maiduguri. And it is proudly organized by the UNIMAID Alumni Kogi State Chapter. So it's a pleasure to have you around. As I said earlier, the target audience for this particular program are, one, the alumni of the University of Maiduguri who are of Kogi State origin, current students of University of Maiduguri who are of Kogi State origin, of course, job seekers of who have one reason or the other to be at Kogi State University of Maiduguri at one time or the other. The program objectives we have with us, the chairman will come on board shortly and will address us as far as that particular one is concerned. Our distinguished audience and participants at this particular seminar, I would like us to know that this seminar is very, very important, even for those of us who are already working, because there's certain knowledge as far as issues of career development is concerned that we might not be aware of, and it will go a long way in helping us. So I indulge us to tune in and listen effectively to our distinguished resource persons who we drew from across the segment of career advancement in this country. We have in our midst a distinguished lecturer from the Department of Mass Communication, Prince Abraka Audio University, Aingba, Dr. Mohamed Onankpa, who will be part of, will take care of a session as far as this particular program is concerned. And then we also have Ms. Talato Philomena Zamani, who also take a session on the issue we have at hand today. We have Mr. Abel James, who also take part as one of our resource persons. And of course, to round off that particular segment of this seminar is Mr. Woody Friday, who will handle a segment too. As we take each of these segments, the topic each person is supposed to talk on, we will be mentioned. And we also have a rundown on some of our resource persons as quickly as possible. So at this point, as we are moving to, I would like us to know that we have some little giveaway that will come our way. One, we have some air times, which is open to both alumni and students who are here for this seminar. The other segment of the takeaways will be, number one, a cash giveaway of 15,000 naira. That one is strictly for students. And the final one is the grand prize, which is the laptop, which is also strictly meant for our students. The criteria for winning those ones will come up towards the end of this particular program, because if we unveil it now, it might create problems for us. But surely at the end of it all, you know those who are going to pick. But as for our giveaway, that is airtime, is open to both alumni and students, and it's just for fastest fingers. We have for Glow, we have for Airtel, and we have for MTN. So they will be dropping them within the interlude we have in each of the segment. So quickly, we commit ourselves into the hand of God as I invite our elder in the midst, Elder Oguche Edino, to commit us into the hand of God with a session of the opening prayer. Is Elder Oguche Edino there?
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
It's a singular privilege. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment. We thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to be at this seminar this morning. Father Lord, we have come to put ideas together to see how we can move forward in the course of what you have put in our thoughts. Father Lord, I will start. Father Lord, we commit the resource people into your mighty hands. Those who want to take one knowledge or the other, Father Lord, they will not be eluded with what is going to happen, but at the end of the day, they have the requisite knowledge in the mighty name of Jesus. So as we start, we ask that you start with us and end with us successfully in the mighty name of Jesus. We pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. Well, I am Tairo Nuhumomo, the current public secretary of our dear station. I'm your program anchor. Quickly, I would like to bring on board the chairman of the state chapter of our great association, Mr. Stephen Ojonogwa, for his opening address. The chairman, sir.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Once again, I spoke briefly before some of us joined. This is thanking you all for joining the call this early. It's a Saturday, and I understand how busy some of us can be. But again, we have sacrificially, make out this time to be a part of this seminar, which is meant to help humanity, we will say, because of our target audience. All right. I did mention earlier on, and it's important at this point again, I let us know that this seminar is being announced, is being streamed live on YouTube, and is available for the public to view also. Just that if you are viewing from that channel on that platform, you won't be able to participate except you join the call itself, which is for some of us that are here currently. All right. Okay, I won't take so much of your time, and it's our expectation that will be as brief as possible. We had slated this to last for about 2 hours. If we can finish within an hour or a little bit more, of course, we'll all be happy for it. I want to believe so. All right. So, distinguished alumni and guests, esteemed speakers and panelists, dear students, job seekers, as the case may be, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the UNIMAID Alumni Association, Kogi State Chapter, I warmly welcome you all to this virtual career development seminar. Today's event essentially is a testament to our shared commitment to empowering one another, whether you're a student or you are currently a member of the alumni, all right? Or even you are a recent graduate, you have not joined the alumni, but you are here on this platform, this seminar is for you. The purpose, as earlier shared by our anchor, is essentially designed for everyone in mind. One is for practical career tools. Practical career tools. What we want to achieve is to ensure that everyone is equipped with the tools required to thrive in the job markets. All right. So that's one purpose we have for this seminar. The second one is industry insights. Here we will learn from experts and alumni in diverse fields, those with great experiences that want to share insights on how to navigate their career path. Okay, that will be shared with every one of us. Networking opportunities also. It's an avenue for us to connect, with mentors, with potential employers, as the case may be, even on this platform. Why do we have to put up this seminar? All right. What's the reason for this seminar? The job market is evolving rapidly, and that's the truth. And the right guidance can make all the difference. As alumni, we understand the challenges that some of us are facing. And today, our aim is to bridge the gap between education and employment. There are a couple of things that will be shared here today that were not shared with you with us while we were in school. All right. I want to especially at this point thank all, especially our committee members who have been able to put this together. I want to thank the speakers who have committed to make themselves available, their resources, their expertise available for the service of humanity on this platform today. I want to say a very big thank you. I also want to thank all participants, for those who have joined us directly here on the Google Meet, for those who are watching us via the YouTube, and also for those who may be watching us on Facebook. Thank you all for being part of this program. Our call for action essentially is that we want to call especially the target audience, especially the students, graduating students, those who recently graduated, to engage actively, during the course of this seminar. All right. You are advised, encouraged to ask questions. All right, during the Q&A time, please feel free to engage by asking questions. You can also drop your questions in the chat box. All right. You can engage us on WhatsApp, drop questions, comments, as the case may be. All right. Secondly, we also want to encourage everyone to network intentionally. We have a lot of resource persons here in our midst. Find time and be intentional on connecting with people, speakers, and fellow attendees here, and you'll be happy for it, trust me. Then finally, at the end of the day, please apply whatever you're going to learn from here, okay? Turn insights into actions, okay? Insights are going to be shared with us. Turn them into actions. Apply what you learn. After all, they say wisdom is the application of knowledge. All right. So for the Alumni Association Cohesive Chapter, this is essentially the composition of our team. We have the ESCO members, we have the ex-official, who of course are still part of the ESCO members. Then we have 3 committees, with 2 currently being occupied and 1 currently vacant and to be filled very soon. Quickly, so I just want to introduce the management team. We have Shaka Suli as the vice chairman. We have Karim Ejika as the Secretary General, Ojo Chidi Yusuf as the Treasurer, Manasseh Abimaje, Financial Secretary, Tairu Momo, Public Secretary, Bala Adejo, Assistant Secretary General, Idachaba Edegbo, Director of Socials, Yusuf Bashir, Auditor. We have Mustafa Aloji, ex-official, Habibat Onapa, ex-official. At the committee level, we have Atukulo Onalo as a committee lead and Yakub Kolilu as a committee lead. So once again, thank you all for your time. Together, please, let's build a stronger, more supportive UNIMAID community. Enjoy the seminar, and may this be a stepping stone to your next career breakthrough as we continue. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for that wonderful brief. Before we go into the keynote address, I would like us to also know that we are going to have a panel discussion, which is going to last for 25 minutes by the time we're done with the various presentations. And the panel is going to feature Manasseh Abimaje, Aloje Mustafa, Joanne Stephen, Barrister Martin Sotojoko, and Bello Mohammed. And there'll be question and answer sessions related to career development. So please, today is action-packed moment, and I will indulge us to try as much as possible to be patient and listen to issues as they continue to unfold. So at this point, it's a great honor and privilege for me to introduce the man who will take the keynote address here at this particular seminar. He's going to talk on navigating the evolving job market. And that is going to be the key issue he is going to hammer on here this morning. I introduce an associate professor of mass communication, who is an accomplished scholar of the Department of Mass Communication, Prince Abubakar Audio University, Ayingba, with a strong academic foundation from the University of Maiduguri, where he earned his master's degree in 2007. He has dedicated his career to advancing knowledge in journalism and development communication. A prolific researcher, he has authored over 25 high-impact publications spanning various facets of mass communication, contributing to both academic discourse and practical media solutions. His expertise bridges theories and practice, making him a respected voice in the field. His commitment to advancing communication studies extends beyond academia as he engages in industry, collaboration, policy discussion, and mentorship for emerging media professionals. He's a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, member Nigerian Union of Journalists, member of the African Council of Communication and Education, and associate and members of the Association of Communication Scholars and Professionals of Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite Associate Professor Mohammed Onankba of the Department of Mass Communication, Prince Abubakar Audio University, Anyigba. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you on board for this session.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's a great privilege to be in your midst this morning to give a talk on navigating the emerging job market in Nigeria. It's a difficult task, I must admit. Difficult in the sense that we all do know what the employment and unemployment situation is in our country. We're going to discuss this within the limited time and space available for us. I know it's not going to be a small task. But by the grace of God, we'll make the best out of a very difficult situation, hoping that at the end of the day, we would have chipped in the little that God has endowed us in our heads. And I do hope that it will be of great benefit, not just to our upcoming brothers and sisters, but even to some of us who have been on our respective jobs for some time now. One can diversify at any point in time, even from what we are doing, so as to better our lives. I have prepared a small class on 9 slides. It's quite unfortunate that what we are doing, the video aspect of it, is really not there. But then we can make do with what we have audio-wise. The topic, once again, is navigating emerging trends in our job market. I will want to touch a bit on history in relation to what the job situation is in Nigeria. At independence, this country was in need of people to man different segments of our economy. And along the line, the country had very few trained elites to man these important segments. And so it was more or less a fait accompli for any Nigerian graduate of any university to say that, yes, I am gainfully employed as soon as you are done with your education. But over the years, we cannot say the same story because as population begin to increase, such vacancies were becoming scanty. And by that, problems started to come up. The Nigerian job market for some years now has been experiencing rapid transformation. Like I tried to say, if we go a bit into history, it was a smooth sail for nearly all Nigerian graduates, irrespective of your discipline, as at independence. This trend actually continued into the late 70s and the early 80s. Time was, even though some of us were kids then, I still do remember very well, stories told by our own seniors in the educational sector, how they graduated from the universities, and even the day the National Youth Service Corps was to, disperse them from their various NYSC camps, you will see company cars, government vehicles from different parastatals and ministries waiting at the NYSC camp gates to collect their prospective employees, even right from camp. It was that rosy then. But the intrusion of the military into our national life and the concomitant mismanagement of the country's resources and our economy created a lot of problems for us, beginning from the 80s up to the 1990s. Gradually, as the economy got worse, the job vacancies that ordinarily should have been there were no longer available. And so it was a case of to your tent, O Israel, for the average Nigerian graduate. Job markets, especially in the public sector, the job spaces in the public sector were at a point only available, and I'm sure even as we talk up to now, the trend continues, only for those who are powerfully connected to people in government or in politics. For you to get a job as it is now in the Nigerian public sector, and to a large extent even in the private sector, if you don't know somebody who is at the top in areas where you are prospecting for jobs, then you must be connected to somebody who knows somebody along the line there. Otherwise, in your own case, no matter the level of expertise you have acquired from your institutions of training, at the end of the day, you might be left in the dark, left in the lock, and at the end of the day, nothing for you. The situation as it were now is that bad. We actually moved into a democratic era since May 1999, and rather than making things better, employment-wise, things are rather getting worse. There are so many factors responsible for the situation as we have on ground today. Among those factors, one can easily mention technological innovations, economic shifts, and of course, the population explosion among our youth grade. In terms of technological innovation, so much has happened the past 30, 40 years, for example, that has created a dramatic shift from what we used to know as the norm in terms of employment opportunities. Technology has taken us to such a level that ordinarily the jobs that people used to do in numbers, one or two machines fixed in place now can as well be involved in those things. In fact, in most cases, with better results in terms of efficiency. Then the economic shift. Since about 1990 or thereabout, let's go back into history a bit. In fact, since 1985, when the Nigerian military government under General Babangida wholeheartedly embraced the International Monetary Fund, policies in terms of economy, nothing has ever remained the same, beginning with Babangida's Structural Adjustment Program, SAP. Organizations, both in the public and private sector, had to undergo reorganizations. They had to undergo some kind of re-engineering. And in the process, a lot were downsizing to cope with trends economically. It led to retrenchment of workers. Rather than employing new hands, those who were on their jobs were being thrown out. And then life was no longer the same, beginning from 1986 particularly. This country has never one day looked back in terms of economic quagmire. It has always been from one bad tale to another. Today's reality is even more pathetic, considering that Nigeria now has over 100 universities churning out young graduates between their 20s up to the 30s on an annual basis. And the job vacancies available has always been on the decline. What to do in the face of this ugly reality is a great deal of adaptation by particularly our youth. That informs the essence of our discussion today, the idea that we either sit up, adapt to realities around us, or we fold our hands and watch events pass by us, and in the end, more or less like a tsunami, it will end up drowning all of us. I have tried to highlight the fact that navigating our current market in terms of job availability requires a great deal of awareness, sharpness, agility, and adaptability. I mention adaptability because if we consider the trends happening in the market today, it is characterized basically by the following four things. One is the digital transformation, which has created a rise in remote work, fintech, and e-commerce. Two, youth demographics. It is on record that over 60% of our population are under the age of 25. Number three, entrepreneurship. We have noticed over the years an increasing shift from job seeking to job creation. In fact, it is more or less a worldwide trend. Number four is globalization. There is this trend among our talents to compete on the global stage. And such competition has its own attendant, drawbacks and then its own attendant benefits. One other fact that we should consider in our discourse for today is in-demand skills. Considering the dwindling fortunes that we've been recording over the years in terms of government service and public service generally, and then our dwindling fortune in terms of economic expansion, there is every need for today's youth, for Nigeria's graduates today, to key into the following. One, digital literacy, which will involve data analysis, social media, and then coding. Two, Soft skills. Here we will be discussing communication skills, problem solving, and then emotional intelligence. 3, we can talk of technical skills. This will involve engineering. It will involve more engineering in the health sector, as well as renewable energy. In short, we are discussing skills in the information and communication technology generally. The fourth here will be entrepreneurial mindset. Here, we target a group of youths, a group of individuals who should have this mindset of rather coming out of our various institutions and creatively think of how to launch themselves into business so that in the end they can become employers instead of being employees. As it is today, we can conveniently identify the following 5 sectors as emerging opportunities where the Nigerian youth, where the Nigerian graduate can effectively key into. One area is technology and ICT. Another one is agri-business and agro-allied, tech business. 3, healthcare and biotechnology. 4, renewable energy. 5, the creative industries. And here we mean opportunities available in the media sector, in the music sector, and then in terms of artistic designs generally. It is easy for us as academics to begin to pinpoint and itemize what needs to be done and what needs not to be done. But along the line, we should be aware that in our various attempts to delve into all of the sectors one is recommending, there are bottlenecks, there are heavy challenges that one should be aware of. The knowledge of them will help us navigate through these areas effectively. Challenge number 1 is what I will term skill mismatch between graduates and employer needs. Over the years, our emphasis has been on producing graduates that are intellectually very effective and very mobile, if you will ask me, in different disciplines, especially in the arts and humanities, with little emphasis on science and engineering. But like I pointed out earlier in my introduction, gone are those days where spaces were available for managers to come and man, various aspects of our national life. Across the world, in care of the trend of globalization, emphasis has shifted from all of what we used to know as jobs to what people can do in terms of creative abilities and technological, know-how. So there is this tendency over the past few decades in Nigeria that most of the graduates that we turn out from our institutions are still living in the past because they cannot really key into the present world of technology, especially in the computer world. Number 2 challenge, underemployment and informal jobs. Number 3 is limited access to career guidance. Thank God for the one that all of us are involved in doing today. Number 4, infrastructure and policy constraints. I need to emphasize this point at this juncture that even as we shout unemployment in this part of the world, the truth of the matter remains the fact that there are certain key jobs available out there looking for people to come and grab them. But the unfortunate story is the idea that the people that such opportunities are waiting for are actually in short supply. So there is every need for us to begin a high level of reorientation, even in our academic curriculum, so as to meet today's challenges. There are strategies that we can, get involved in order for us to achieve success in all of this. Strategy number one for me will be continuous learning at all times. An average Nigerian graduate today, a BSc holder in mass communication, a BSc holder in biology, in microbiology, a BA degree holder in theater arts, in history, in English and literary studies, whatever it is that you have spent a period of 4 years learning within the four walls of a university. In 2025, such knowledge acquired may not take you to the promised land. And so it is desirable if you can get involved in continuous learning, particularly as it relates to the world of the computer. Most especially now that artificial intelligence is beginning to rubbish everything that we were all taught in schools. Strategy number two should be networking. Here, emphasis should be placed on attempts to join professional groups, attend events, use LinkedIn and other platforms that are available online. Through that, you can achieve the idea of getting connected, even to people you have never met all your life. But the idea is, around the globe, employers and organizations generally are looking for heads that can help them fix things. You might happen to be one of those heads. Strategy number three, getting involved in internships and volunteering. Through these ones, you can gain tremendous experience in one area of national endeavor or the other. Strategy number four, you need to build a personal brand. And by this, I mean you can showcase the talent that you have. You can showcase what you can do via online blogs, via projects that you have initiated and carried out. Develop a portfolio for yourself so that in the end, you can easily be marketable. Apart from those strategies, there are roles expected of our government and institutions. Roles like curriculum reform to match job market needs in 2025 and beyond. Promoting youth entrepreneurship with funding and mentorship. Thirdly, improving internet access and power supply to boost remote work. Final thoughts. The Nigerian job market for me is evolving. And so every Nigerian too must evolve to follow the trend. Secondly, there is the need for every individual to embrace a lifelong learning and innovation. Three, with the right skills and appropriate mindsets, opportunities abound for us to key into. I thank you for affording me this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that precise presentation. We acknowledge the time you spent, we acknowledge the resources you deploy, and we actually acknowledge the thought, very, very thought-provoking thought you shared with us. We sincerely appreciate you. For this moment, a recap of the suggestion and recommendations from him. He talked about embrace of artificial intelligence, that we have to embrace it with all we have, because there's a lot to gain from there. He talks about networking. We need to be meeting people. That's the thought he's sharing with us. He talked about you, all of us volunteering as interns. If you work with people, you study them, you sacrifice for them, definitely along the line you'll gain something from there. And the final thought on that for us is that we should build personal brands before he outlined the role of government. Sir, we sincerely appreciate you for this opportunity you've granted us today. God bless you. Now we go into the second structure, which is the seminar structure now. And it's a great honor for me to bring on board our sister, who is a UN certified peace, security, and international development expert, a distinguished peace ambassador, gender expert, and humanitarian leader with over 17 years of experience in conflict resolution, crisis management, and women empowerment. A visionary leader who is the executive director of Zamani Center and president of the Zamani Foundation, where she has dedicated 23 years to uplifting orphans, women, and marginalized communities through education, welfare programs, and advocacy. Her expertise spans policy development, victim support system, and training for military and government agencies. She holds multiple degrees, including an MSc in Defense Studies for the Nigerian Defense Academy, and is currently pursuing her PhD in Defense and Security Studies. Her impact extends globally into national focal point for United Nations Environment Programme and United Nations Convention to combat desertification, convener of the Women Hub providing counseling and business mentorship, national coordinator for Women International League for Peace and Freedom, a recipient of high commendations from government and institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome our dear sister, Talatu Philomena Zamani. She is going to talk on creating, creating a winning CV and LinkedIn profile. Sorry, she's going to talk on industry insight and employability skills. She's going to have 20 minutes to do that. My dear sister, you're welcome on board. Thank you.
Good morning, my brother. Thank you very much for having me join you today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. This is really laudable. I must commend your efforts. Thank you very much. And thank you to the team of UNIMAID alumni. So my name is Talatu, as said. It is a great pleasure for me to join you all today to speak about this very, very important theme, which is industry insights and employability skills. You see, whether you're preparing to enter the workforce or you're pivoting your career or even positioning yourself for leadership, this is it's not just about you, but about the entire community at large. You see, employers are no longer looking for what you have, the certificates again. Employers are looking for what you have besides that certificate, what skills you have, what you have gained after leaving school. In my organization, we, aside the interviews, the processes that you go through, before we employ you, we ensure that we have a session with you. And the only thing that we are interested in, especially me, I would ask you just one question. What skills do you have? I'm not interested in everything that you've packed, because especially in Africa here, we're all interested in the certificate, like having one certificate or the other. And this mindset changed for me when we had a copper who was posted to our organization that read computer science. And one of the reasons why we asked, specifically asked NYC to post that a copper who had computer science, was because we needed someone who was computer savvy. And this boy came in, did well, 2-1. But to our greatest surprise, he had never seen a computer before. And I was troubled. I remember I talked and I said, how can you graduate from an institution and you tell us that you've not seen a computer before? I said, you didn't go to school, you just paid for the certification. And then with time, I now realized that so many certificates, but there's no skill to back it up. And for me, it is a whole lot. And I'm just talking about my own self, but there are a number of persons who are industries who have have all this in store. The face of work has changed. So whether it is me or any other person, this industry has changed, and it is still changing. Technology has gone way beyond what we can even imagine. My brother here talked about AI. AI now is the one leading everything. AI is taking over business, is taking over a whole lot. And so if we're not prepared to take over this, we don't have that capacity to be able to stand and be able to stand the test of time, train, and train, we may not be able to stand the future of work. And so for us to be able to build our capacity to do this, we have to have a whole lot of technology up there. We have to have, and then we're in a global village. The world is more connected than ever. I am here in Kaduna, and I don't know a whole lot of, well, in so many parts of the world now, and we're all connected through this medium for us to engage now. So we are not just competing locally, we are competing globally. And so for us to become the majority in anything that we do, we have to ensure that we begin to match our opportunities, these opportunities with our skills. We have to ensure that we change the way things are being done. And why? So even if you read political science in school, have a skill in coding, design, in data analysis, in cybersecurity, because employers are now looking for these things. Software development is taking the tone. I was going through countries that are looking for people who would come in, and one of the things that are in demand is someone who had cyber skills in cyber security, who had certificate in cyber, so it's not just the tech, it is way beyond tech. So the world has gone. They're not just looking for someone who has Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Zoom, and a whole lot. We've gone beyond that. They're looking for a whole lot. They're looking for people who are critical thinkers, who can solve problems, who can be able to think on the spot, who understand that if someone is looking for a PA, they need someone who is a critical thinker, who can solve problems on the spot. We're looking at the green economy, renewable energy, waste management, climate finance. We have to have those skills because everything now is moving towards climate change. Climate related work is one of the fastest growing sectors globally. And then healthcare and biotech, data analysis, there's medical technology, there's research writing, there's crisis response, public health, and the whole lot. The creative industry, entrepreneurship, even has gone way beyond what we can even think. So what are these employable skills, these employability skills that we're talking about? We've seen that industries demand a whole lot, and what they need for us and what we need for ourselves to succeed is these soft skills. These skills are, like I said earlier, communication skills. We should be able to communicate, speak clearly, let people know what we want. Let us gone are the days when they say you should keep quiet. When you talk too much, you're being disrespectful. Now you can speak out, let people know what you want in a respectful manner. You should be able to adapt to any situation. The world is changing, like I said, like my brother also said, the world is changing, and so we should be able to change with the times. We shouldn't just say, well, okay, because it's AI now, and then we're complaining. No, we should be able to. We should be ready to change at any. We should be updating ourselves. What is in trend now? What do employers? What are they looking for? What do they need? What do you even need to be able to scale up? Do you understand? Because if you can be in an organization, but you have a skill better than your colleague, so you know that you stand out from that person. You should be able to collaborate with people from different backgrounds. You shouldn't say, okay, I don't know them, they're not from my village, so I won't have anything to do with them. And we have to build emotional intelligence. We have to be self-aware. We have to be empathetic and have people skills, which is very, very important. Now, our mindset again is something that also matters. Sometimes we feel, especially in this part of the world, we feel that oh, okay, I don't know anybody, so I may not be able to get that role or what. But you can. Everything is about our mindset. Everything is about the way we think, how we feel that okay, if we have a growth mindset, we believe that we can get that, we can improve and be able to stand. We should be curious. We should be able to learn what we want to go out, learn what is happening, what is the latest in town. Have that humility to be humble and look for someone to mentor you. If you have someone who would mentor you, that the mentor is someone who has gone through the process and is willing to show you the path. So sometimes I see people say, "Oh, that person is their mentor," and the mentor is way million miles away from you. A mentor is somebody that's around. We have people who are around us. The mentor does not have to be Dangote. The mentor is somebody close to you. If the person might even be a senior student that is doing that thing which you want, and the person has already gone that path, you can you can meet that person, approach the person, and the person is willing to. And you have to find someone who is willing to also share knowledge with you, who would be ready to open doors for you. But you know that before you get there, you have to be able to build trust. Let the person trust you enough to be able to invest in you. And you should also be humble enough to allow yourself to be impacted on. And then even networking again. Networking has gone a whole lot. You can, it's also not, you say, oh, I don't know anybody. No, knowing people is important, but building relationship is very, very valuable. If you build relationships, you'll be able to have referrals. You'll be able to have people who can speak for you, who can recommend you. I don't know, I don't think I know any of you from here, but I'm sure it was someone who recommended me for this speaking role. So that's how it is. Attend seminars, webinars, workshops, ask questions, just be in touch with your friends, your old schoolmates, because God is taking people to so many places. So you don't know where God is going to even align someone. So you keep in touch. You shouldn't be that person who will say, okay, it's only when you need something you reach out to your classmates. No, just keep in touch. Be friends with everybody. Respect people, and people too will respect you too, because opportunities don't they sometimes does not come wearing itself. Opportunities can come in clothing. Then be we should also have that sense that if we create all these skills, the job market that is competitive has a space for us. If we have these skills will open doors for us. And like I always tell people who come for orientation in our organization, the door has opened, but it's your character that will keep you in that room. It is your character, because character plays a very major role in everything that we do. No matter what it is, you can be very, very intelligent, but if you have a bad character, it's like mud, like it's like pouring rubbish on perfume. It just dampens everything. And so they say, oh, she's very intelligent, but character. And that for me is diamond. Then we shouldn't wait until we graduate before we start building our we shouldn't wait until we graduate before we start building our skills. No, we shouldn't wait until we graduate before we start working on our career path. We should all know what we want to be and what we want to do in life now. So let's start working, let's start preparing, start creating space for yourself, because you can never know where opportunity meets. I say that opportunity meets preparations. You cannot be unprepared and say that opportunity. There's nothing like luck. You have to be prepared. And when you're prepared, that opportunity comes. So it's time and chance for us all. I for at this juncture, I would say thank you very much for your attention. I hope that what the little I've said here has inspired you to reflect on who we are and what we can offer and where we are going. And not just where we are going, but who we want to be in future. Who we want to be in future is determined now. So I'd like to open the doors. If you have any questions or thoughts, I'm open to listening. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, dear sister, for that insightful contribution you've made here today. For a
Thank you, sir.
recap, she talked on career, industry insight, and employability skills. That's what she just talked on. And it was a very, very wonderful moment she shared with us. If I have to go through what she said quickly, she has told us to have skills in coding, data analysis, and cybersecurity. She told us to be problem solvers on the spot. I think we should underline that. To try to problem solve on the spot so that we can be acknowledged and taken to where we don't even dream of as far as the area of positivity is concerned. She told us to have interest in green economy and climate change. She talked about the healthcare opportunities available, and no matter the degree we are holding, she said these areas are areas we can still explore. She talked about building emotional intelligence to be self-aware, and she also said that we should have great mindset and believe in ourselves and have the humility to be mentored by those who are close to us. And she rounded it off by telling us to be of good character, that no matter what we've done with our life in terms of building ourselves, if the character is not there, there's no way we'll be able to make it. In fact, she calls it the diamond. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate her once more for this moment she has shared with us. And I believe is that we'll go a long way in making use of this thought she shared with us today. The good thing is that all these things they are being uploaded on YouTube, so we can easily revisit those things and make use of what this insightful moment they've shared with us today. So we go into the next segment on our career development session. The next person I have here is a leadership coach, a youth development advocate, a social entrepreneur, a dynamic leader dedicated to empowering the next generation of change makers. With over a decade of experience, he excels in youth development, conflict resolution, and social entrepreneurship. As the national coordinator of the Youth Leaders Clinic at the Abuja Leadership Center, University of Abuja, he has spearheaded transformative programs that foster civic engagement, leadership, and political awareness among young Nigerians. A scholar, practitioner, our young and and our young resource person here today has a multiple master's degree in public administration, conflict and development studies, international affairs and leadership. His expertise bridges theories and action, enabling him to drive impactful initiatives across government, private and non-profit sectors. A multilingual strategist and certified conflict management expert. His mission is very clear: to coach young leaders, build resilient communities, and champion youth inclusion in national development. Our distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome our brother, Mr. Abel James, who is going to talk on entrepreneurship and alternative career paths. You're welcome abroad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my fellow, I will still say colleagues. Um, it's a honor being among you this morning. I really appreciate this moment. Uh, on Monday, my wife woke up around 6 a.m. and forgot to prepare meal and left for work. Around 9 a.m., I woke up hungry. I called her and I said, you left without preparing anything. She said, yes. Her boss asked her to come to work early because they have much to do. Now, that is what most civil servants go through. And those who are employed by um, their own employers. While myself, that I employed myself, was still on bed around 9, um, she had to leave house early. And I had to make little meal in as much as the meal was half done, but I ate happily. Thank you very much. Welcome to today's segment, Entrepreneurship and Alternative Career Paths, empowering the 21st century workforce. Um, if you look at the country that we are now, you will see that every young man that leaves school, if you ask him what do you want to do, he either tells you he wants to work in NNPC, he wants to work in Shell, he wants to work in CBN, he wants to work in, everybody wants to work in government agencies, departments, and ministries that pay higher. If you ask them to go to Ministry of Agriculture, they say, no, I don't want to be in Ministry, I don't want to work in Ministry of Agriculture. They believe nothing comes there, the pay is low, and so on and so forth. A lot of us grew up, or we're still growing up, believing that we can only make ends meet when we work for government or private institutions. We fail to understand that every human being has an innate um, gift given to God for him to explore things. Now, entrepreneurship, as we all know, is a viable and sustainable alternative to traditional career path. Um, with increasing unemployment rates, job dissatisfaction, and disruption caused by technology, technological advancement. It makes the conventional 9 to 6 job uh, no longer the best route for professional success and riches. Now, entrepreneurship offers lots of us the opportunity to create our own career path. It gives us enabling ground to foster innovation as well as generate economic growth. The market today is undergoing rapid transformation caused by technological advancement as well as globalization. You know, there is a shift in societal values, changing how people work and what they aspire to achieve in their own career. Now, for many, traditional career paths are increasingly restrictive, prompting a search for alternative routes to financial independence. Uh, this financial independence brings about personal fulfillment and social impact. Entrepreneurship has emerged as one of the most viable alternatives that we have because it offers us flexibility. Just as I said, while I was still on bed, my wife had to wake up early to meet her daily demand. Now, what is this entrepreneurship that we all talk about? The first speaker talked about entrepreneurship as one of the solutions. The second speaker still maintain entrepreneurship. This entrepreneurship, what is it all about? To me, I see it as a process of designing something for yourself, running a new business based on ideas of yourself, idea that comes from you or from others. And in the age of social media, you discover that every day you come online, you see people posting one thing or the other. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, you pick an idea from everybody's posts. Today, we have a lot of young men who are doing better in their areas of in their fields, different fields, because of ideas, the ones that came through, that's from their own mind, wishful thoughts, and what have you, and the one they are able to gather from people. I want to tell most of us listening to me this morning that the conventional and traditional career is no longer um, is no longer fending for the high rise in population and the increment in number of young men and the women that are out of white collar job. Now we have to think other ways. What are the other ways we should explore? I'm talking to mostly, I'll be focusing on the students that we have currently in school and those that just graduated. You know, uh, entrepreneur, entrepreneurship or entrepreneur in Nigeria presents a wide array of opportunities for us. It is driven by the range of population, as we earlier said, expanding digital infrastructure and unmet needs across the key sectors that we have. Now, despite these challenges, the country remains one of the most vibrant hubs for innovation and small business development. Nigeria as a country today produces about 600,000 graduates each year. This number of graduates is really concerning because it contributes to the growing number of unemployed youths, unemployed young people in Nigeria. And if something is not done, we are going to have so many people graduating and depending on government for these white collar jobs. And the white collar jobs are not enough. Today, if you need any, if you want to get even a local government job, you need to pay somebody or somebody that knows the local government chairman, state governor, and so has to be involved, else you won't. When God has given us the abilities, He has given us the strength and even the knowledge to find an alternative route for ourselves. There are so many opportunities for entrepreneurs in Nigeria today. The agriculture or agri-tech is a viable opportunity. While I was in University of Maiduguri, I was a student and still going during long vacation. You know, Maiduguri, we had our rainy season comes June, July, and August. And that period, we don't have lectures, or we almost most of these times we prepare for exams. Now that period, we usually go out to places like Goza. That time there was little of insurgency, so we go places like Goza, Ngom, even up to New Marti to join in farming. We weed, we harvest. When we harvest crops, they give us, we don't take money. They only give us modus of wheat in Gambarungala and so. And we come back to the university. When we come back to university, we sell it at those to those people selling things. We make little of money. Now, that was a driving force and factor for someone like me. And that same period, I have a friend called Jude. He graduated from Futi, I think Yola, yes. And anytime he comes home, he does aluminum roofing. You know, anytime he comes home, whenever he wants to go out for work, I know we have lectures sometimes. I will abandon my own lecture to go with him to get a job for myself, what will give me little money. You know, I have fright for heights, but I will always sit behind, giving him long span sheet, aluminium sheet, and wood for Jude and his brother Chimezi to be nailing up. And at the end of the day, I come back with money. When I go to school, I photocopy what they have studied or what lecturer has given. I read. And that was how I was able to pass with one of the best results, 2-2 in the University of Maiduguri. My result is one of the best, considering the fact that I was always going hustling for myself. Now, entrepreneurship is just beyond you knowing how to move around, get one or two. It's beyond that. You have to be articulate. You have to sit down. And as I said, in agriculture and this, we have crop processing. Today, in our today world, people process crop. When people are harvesting, you have little money, you go. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you have to do most of those things yourself. It's for you to sit down and articulate what is saleable, what is buyable, what can I do to make income. Now, crop processing, when they are buying rice, for instance, today, you can buy the rice, unprocessed rice. When you process it, you have a gain, you have a very big gain when you sell it out. You can store them. Most of these crops, you can store them. If you store them, for instance, this period in time, we have charcoal is cheaper now. Once we enter intense rain in June, July, charcoal is very expensive. Charcoal is being sold at, I think, 5,000, depending on where you are buying from. And if you store it by June, just from now till June, you will sell when the rain starts intensively. You will sell a bag of charcoal at 7,000, 8,000 naira. No matter how little, you can get money as a student and involve yourself in some of this gainful uh, venture, and it will help you. Students in the University of Maiduguri today and every other part, we can, a lot of us when we were in school, we were selling palm oil. When we come home to Anigala, Kogi State, we get 25 liters of palm oil. When we go, we distribute, we kind of sell it a cup, in cups, and sometimes in little jerry can. We were doing all this, and that sustained us. We didn't depend on our parents. We at that period we weren't saying there wasn't nothing like urgent 2K for us, because we were making this urgent 2K for ourselves. So I will encourage every student not to just remain. Yes, it's good. Go to classes, read your books, get one or two, but ensure that you go out when you are doing nothing to get something for yourself. You have to work. Mobile payments, in fintech, we have mobile payments um, apps, digital banking. There are a lot of things one can do for himself. E-commerce, for instance, logistics. Back then in university, there is a guy that used to go to Mubi every time. He gets a parcel when he's going to Mubi. Almost all the people in Adamawa State give him their money to buy them one or two items that they need. When he's coming back, he comes back with almost a pickup. Student come to his hostel in Titanic and get all these things. He was making money. Students have no reasons to say, I cannot feed or I cannot. There are a lot of things to be done, and you will make money for yourself. You mustn't rely on people for survival. And when you start it from the university, I believe when you leave, you will be doing it while searching for your desired job. So there are lots of skills that we need to do, we need to involve ourselves in doing. I have one friend, his name is Jeremiah. Jeremiah does everything. He can do, he can fix lights, he can do window, he can do, he was only earning 1 naira, 2 naira for fixing window tomorrow. I called him, I said, please, can you go to a furniture hub where they do furniture and learn, concentrate on one and get. Today, Jerry is the one doing bed, doing chair, all furnitures, kitchen cabinets, and what have you. He makes money. He doesn't even go to work every day again. From one spot, calls come, he asks his boys to go and work for him, and he's earning. Now, we have in this period, we have those who are into entrepreneurship because of circumstances. It's circumstances. They don't have anything to do. They now say, okay, let me try it. And they try it. It's working. It's paying them. Some is not paying yet because it's not their passion. But when you begin to add passion to what you do, you're going to earn a lot without depending on people. White collar job is good. It's good for those who are doing it. But it's good if you have something that, let's say we call it multiple sources of income. We shouldn't just rely on uh, one source of income and feel, because needs and demand keep increasing. Now we have types of entrepreneurship. We have the small business entrepreneurship, like local shops, restaurants. Restaurant is a very big business that a lot of people, if you don't, I know a couple that were married, no job for the husband and the wife. We look for just as small as 30,000 naira. That was 2 years ago, was committed to them. They bought rice. She was selling rice and stew. She has her pot. She has other things. She was selling rice and stew. Now they were eating from that, and they were still making money, little money. There are other services. Now we have scalable startup. The tech startups like Paystack and Flutterwave. This one is for the advanced people who are well into technology and so on and so forth. There are so many aspects of entrepreneurship that when you delve into, you're going to be happy for. Why consider entrepreneurship as a career? The autonomy and control it gives you. You are your own boss. You have flexibility, control over your time and work style. You know, it gives you more room to learn more and be innovative. You solve problems. When you solve problems, you make money out of them. Then it gives you a kind of financial leverage, financial potential. There is high reward and opportunity in entrepreneurship. Then personal fulfillment. It gives you personal fulfillment. Let that be your alternative career path beyond the traditional employment. So if we do some of this, we need to start encouraging our children at home. When we were in primary school, we used to do crafts, but later on, at that period, we do crafts. You see us go home, we make shoes, we make slippers, shirts, and all these things with our hands. But later on, they change it. You pay. Teachers collect money in place of crafts, and that eroded the whole essence of craft. So we have a lot of issues until we start nipping them on the bud. Start from the home. Allow your children to do some of this work at home. Allow them to sweep, allow them to mop, allow them to do all this. You are now teaching them how to live. When they go to university, they will find one thing or the other to do to earn money. Always encourage your people. Now, if you have a job, it doesn't mean that you cannot still be an entrepreneur. You can, if you have a well-paid job, you can diversify. Put your money else, let it work for you. Multiple stream of income. It helps solves a lot of insults. When you have money, you can think of anything for yourself without worrying about how to get the money. Business opportunities are like buses. That is according to Richard Benson. He said business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. So when you start entrepreneurship today, once you start with maybe producing, let me say, buying of charcoal, from there you think of another one. So they are like buses, they keep coming. When you get this, and when you train, one thing about entrepreneurship is when you train an entrepreneur, you are training, when you train somebody as an entrepreneur, you are training somebody who is going to compete with you tomorrow. So it gives you opportunity to think ahead and think maybe better for yourself. So please, I want to encourage as many of us, especially in still in school, please and please try and 1 naira that comes to your pocket, don't leave it in the hot and what's it called in your bank. Try and trade with it. Trade, no matter how little, engage in trade. You can buy whenever you come home. You can buy oil, palm oil. You can buy any of these items that is needed in far north and any parts that you are. You can sell them. It doesn't mean that you have to do it in large scale. Small will keep you going. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this moment.
Thank you very, very, very much, our dear brother, Mr. Abel James, for that thought-provoking moment you shared with us. It was very, very insightful, and may God continue to bless you. Eric Kapkole, please, he talked about, in fact, his major emphasis from the beginning was the need for us to be independent-minded when it comes to job provision and job seeking. If I read what he was saying very well, I think it's always good for us to try to be on our own instead of relying on or whatever employment somebody is going to offer us. Because that analogy of his why waking up early in the morning is something we should be thinking about. He talked about going into agri-tech investment by area of a crop processing, crop storage, charcoal storage, mobile payment, and e-commerce. And he said whatever little amount we have with us, we should think that that amount can be doubled. Something can be added to it through some little trading. He has said quite a lot. If you need more of that, you go to a YouTube and you get much more from what he said. My brother, thank you so much for your time that you share with us, and may God continue to bless you. Quickly, before we go into the next segment, it's an honor for me to acknowledge some of our distinguished alumni in our midst here. I acknowledge the presence of a one-time chairman of the Kina local government and a one-time member of the House of Representatives representing the Kina Basa Federal Constituency, Honorable Benjamin Ikane Okolo. So it's a pleasure to have you around on this call this morning. May God bless you. We have here the Secretary of the immediate caretaker committee of this our alumni association, Barrister Joshua Ako. So it's a pleasure to have you around with us here this morning. I also acknowledge the presence of our elder who prayed for us when we were starting this program, Elder Idino Oguche. For you to be around here this morning, we acknowledge your presence sincerely. We're also joining us just now. I acknowledge is also a distinguished foundation member of this association. In fact, he was a member of the Pioneer Escort Association. My brother, who is currently a lecturer at the Nigeria Defense Academy, Mr. Onalo Atokolo. Our elders in the house, please, at appropriate time, we'll give you time to share whatever you can share with the rest of us here so that we'll gain more as far as the issue of career development is concerned. So I told you earlier that we have some giveaway. The first one is the airtime, which has started rolling. You could see that one was shared earlier. We still have much more to go. The airtime we're giving away today is worth 10,000 naira, and that is open to every participant at this particular seminar today. The second one is 15,000 naira cash prize, 5,000 naira to each winner. The criteria for the award will come at the tail end of this program. And finally, the grand prize of a laptop, which will go to students. So the cash prize and the laptop will go strictly to students, not the alumni. Thank you very much. We go quickly to the next segment of this, our program. And the segment is on personal branding and networking. To share that thought with us this morning is a project manager, a financial risk and compliance expert, and banking professional. A seasoned banking professional with over 15 years of experience in project management, regulatory compliance, and enterprise risk management, currently serving as project manager at Union Bank of Nigeria. He excels in driving strategic initiative, ensuring AM compliance, and mitigating financial risk. His expertise spans retail banking, risk assessment, and process optimization, making him a key contributor to operational excellence in Nigeria's financial sector. His career highlights include project manager, Union Bank of Nigeria, which is current, lead across functional team to execute high-impact projects, ensuring alignment with regulatory standards of CBN and NDIC. Spearhead AML KYC compliance program, reducing operational risk by 30%, optimize internal processes, enhancing efficiency in loan disbursement and customer onboarding. Previous roles include, at Union Bank of Nigeria, Union Bank of Nigeria and Sky Bank include manage risk framework, audit responses, and fraud prevention strategies, develop training modules on regulatory compliance for bank staff. His personal philosophy is built on precision in risk management, which fuels sustainable growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome our distinguished alumnus who is going to talk on personal branding and networking, Mr. Woody Friday. So it's a pleasure to have you around this morning. You're welcome on board. Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Just in case you may not know, your microphone is muted. If you can quickly unmute it, please. Thank you.
Is Mr. Woody there?
Yes, he's on the call. Your microphone is still muted. If you can unmute it, we'll be able to hear you. All right. While we get that sorted out, moderator, thank you very much for the wonderful work you are doing. God bless you richly. We can take out the time also to yield the floor to as many participants that may have questions or some comments, contributions that we may want to add to what has been shared so far. We really appreciate that while we get the next speaker on board. Thank you.
All right. My brother Onalo Atokolo, I see your hand up. The floor is yours.
Good morning, my brothers, and I think I can see a sister here. My name is Atukolo Onalo. I'm the committee lead on career development and entrepreneurship. Ordinarily, I'm supposed to be the moderator of this program today, but unfortunately, I have a very crucial assignment on my hands at the academy where I work. And for that reason, I want to first and foremost apologize for my unavoidable absence from the beginning, and to also commend and appreciate the efforts of first our president, Mr. Stephen Ojonuga, and then the man who has stood in for me as the moderator, a very competent and eloquent moderator, Mr. Tairu Momo. I'm grateful and I'm so happy to have joined you at this point, and I hope to remain on board till about an hour from now before I get back to my assignment again. God bless everyone on the platform, and I pray that we have a successful seminar today. God bless you.
Welcome, sir. Please, just as the chairman just said, this floor remains very open for participants here. We have listened to our keynote speaker, Dr. Mohamed Onankba, who will talk about navigating the evolving job market. We listened to him. He raised quite a number of issues that if we are not, we have clarification that we need to seek about. We should be able to do that while we're waiting for our next speaker to come on board. Our sister, Mr. Latu Philomena Zamani, also shared insight on industry insight and employability skills. We are very much free to share our thought on that, including questions, which answers will be provided. And just a few minutes ago, our brother, Mr. Abel James, was also here, and he talked on entrepreneurship and alternative career paths. So please, these are the issues we have heard about so far, and it is good we raise our hands where appropriate to ask questions. And our elders in the house who might have one or two things to say, as far as some of the issues raised today are concerned, please, this time is very much available for you to share your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you very much, moderator. While we wait for many that are thinking of what to say and what to contribute, may I also use this opportunity to talk to some of the new graduates or those in their final year students or those who are students are not even in this category and are here on the call to feel free to ask questions. Please feel free. It's one family. We are here to learn. We are here to connect with each other. We are here to network. We are here to gain good insights that will. For me, this seminar is going to, mark a turning point for one or two, persons as far as career path is concerned. We may not be seeing that in the immediate, but I can tell you that great, thoughts that are being shared, insight that are being shared, it's going to impact, one or two people that it will become a turning point for them. I can relate with what the last speaker, was sharing with us in terms of when even he was in school, he had started one or two things, trying to buy and sell, trying to go to somewhere to, a farm, get crops and come back to school to sell. I had an experience close to that also, where you'll be giving your school fees of how much, and once you remove your transport money, you use the entire remaining funds you have to buy one or two things. For instance, I was buying some stockings. All right, I remember in this particular case, I was just left with my transport money. I used the entire money to buy stockings. When I mean stockings, socks. All right, some special ones anyway from British Airways. All those their packages, and I'll come to school. I will sell. Sometimes you won't believe it, 200%, profit. 300% profit. So it's very important. We have our younger ones today, be open to risk. Increase your risk appetite to an extent. All right. Of course, you have to do your due diligence. Don't just take on due risk and lose everything. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, but don't be caught up in the fear of what if I lose? What if I don't make profit? What if I don't get it right and never start anything? All right, and never start anything. Engage in skills. So we can't overemphasize the skills acquisition. Personally, what has helped me so far on my journey is the fact that I remember there was this long strike we had while we we're in school. In fact, then you don't see computers everywhere, like this, like what we have today, like we have PC. No, no, no. But again, I took advantage of that long strike, engage in Abuja, then engage in a computer school. I learned computer appreciation, and afterwards I decided to develop, myself in that line. Now, a lot of us went to that same school. I have a lot of cousins here, and then we did the same course, all right. But when we came out, we separated ourselves vis-a-vis the commitment each of us decided, to put into, how to develop that skills further, and don't also be caught up in the fear of today's world. Say, the money, I don't have money to acquire this skill. There are a lot of free websites, a lot of tools, that websites that you can go to today. You learn, things, some free, entirely free, some even if it's not free, very, very cheap, with little amount of money. You can, acquire skills, certifications that will help you. Other than waiting for you to graduate, you have a BSc, you have a LLB, you have whatever, and that's what. No, 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 no. It's important we develop ourselves. Personal development is very, very key. On this note, let me yield the floor once again. I want to be one or two people may have a couple of things to share with us to inspire us. Yours could be story, success story so far. Yours could be questions, comments, whatever way. Please, let's just engage, and again, to wrap this up, like our moderator said earlier on, there are a lot of things to be won. I'm actually looking forward to the person that is going to go home with that laptop. I'm looking forward to seeing those who are going to win some cash for themselves. And you can never tell what you do to earn yourself, those prizes. So please, let's engage actively and enjoy the moment. Thank you.
Well, thank you, the chair. I think let me go directly to students who are in our midst now. Um, we have Aisha here. We have Grace. We have Tenim. We have Onu. We have Adams. These are the names of students that I'm seeing here as far as this call is concerned. If people are not ready to talk now, I'm beginning to mention your name. And when I was about doing that, this particular message came from Aisha, and I want to read it to your hearing so that if you have any contribution to make, you can also make it. Good morning, sirs. Is there any specific advice for those of us with digital skills, such as content writing, web design, and others, which is difficult to manage while in school? There are challenges like getting clients, sometimes disappointing them due to academic constraints. Any advice on how we can navigate through this? Let me take that again. Good morning, sirs. Is there any specific advice for those of us with digital skills, such as content writing, web design, and others, which is difficult to manage while in school? There are challenges like getting clients, sometimes disappointing them due to academic constraints. Any advice on how we can navigate through this? Please, our expert in the house, Aisha, is asking this question. Please let us attend to her. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, moderator. While I also wait for others to articulate their thoughts on the response to Aisha, our sister here. Okay. Um, it's a good thing you have some skills that you have built over time, even while you are still in school. And I understand the fact that you are being challenged with the fact that your academic demands sometimes conflicts, you're being able to deliver value to your clients, or even, acquire some clients as much as you would love to, as the case may be. So for me, the first thing you should learn also, which is another skill, of course, it's that of time management. Okay, there are a lot of time management techniques. Okay, which are going to be very, very helpful for you to use in balancing, what time is devoted to your academic work, what time will be devoted to business per day, per hour, as the case may be. In engaging that time management techniques, okay, you'll now delve into what we call prioritization strategies. Okay, you need to prioritize also. You have 9 things to do in 8 hours in a day. So we want to prioritize, okay, which one should you do first? Which one is most important that should come first? All right. At what time can you do this instead of, so in doing that, it will help you to be able to achieve a lot, like multitasking. Okay. And to help make things a bit easy for you, you can also get, some tools to stay very productive, so that things that will take you ordinary 30 minutes can be done in 5 minutes. Some things can even be automated. Okay, if you're on social media, depending on your marketing, tools you're using, you can automate a couple of things that and these things will be marketing for you without you physically being engaged online yourself. So you are having a class, you're in a class, having your lectures or reading, and your tools are marketing your skills and product for you. So you can
Hello? Is anybody hearing the chairman? Am I lost?
His voice is no longer heard.
Okay. I think the problem should be at his end.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I speak?
Well, since he is lost, I think we should give you time to speak while he tries his way back. You can go on, our elder.
Okay, thank you very much. This seminar is a welcome idea, and I think it's a stepstone to the greater heights. I've listened to all the speakers, and they are in line with the trend of events for the time. So most especially our students, according to experience. I can remember vividly when I was in the university, some of the things that we use to survive there, like the speaker Abel, on how he navigates between getting a skill or trying to do one or two things to augment his financial up even as a student. Yes, while I was a student, I think I was doing more tasking. I was the governor, I was the chairman of my class. And if you know, as a chairman of a class, you demanded with your lectures, mediating between the lecturers, the students, and getting time to read on your own and all sorts of things. Yes, I was a little bit aged when I entered the university, but within the waiting period to get to the admission, I learned computer. It's not the Microsoft, all this one we learn these days. We learn through keyboard, knowing the function of each key. And before I got, I was doing some job with it. So when I entered the university, it gave me the edge to be stable in my finances. How do I manage it with being the class chairman and lecturing and going out to do business? I have various business center I was working with in the outside the university. I look at my timetable, collect jobs. I look within the period of my window period. I don't have lectures. I go out there, do the job, get money, I come back to the university. So, like the chairman was saying, that can be multitasking and how to navigate within your time. So, you just have to plan your time and with your studies and what you do. So, those things help me to the extent that you don't know whether I'm coming from a background of where from maybe my parents are rich or not. No, but I was able to navigate my time and the talent and the what I learned before I entered the university. So it's very true. So this aspect we are talking about having a skill is very very important. You don't know when it will be useful to you. So my advice to the students among us or the upcoming one, multitasking is good. And even today, some of those things we learn is still helping us one way or the other. We find ourselves in a place where some people are finding it difficult to do some certain things. Then we employ or we avail ourselves to help and it accept us in so many ways. So it is this week this seminar is welcome idea and I hope we will embrace it and it will be a better thing for us and for the upcoming student or the alumni of University of Maiduguri. Thank you for the idea and thank you for putting this thing together. That's just my little contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Like our chairman is back, and I will give him time to round off what he was saying by way of response to Aisha's question, and then we'll move to Muhammad Sani, whose hands is up. So, chairman, we return back to you. We discovered at a point the signal from your end was lost. So, you're welcome back.
Apologies. Sincerely, I didn't get to know early enough. But again, I had to change network to get back. All right. So I don't know where I left off, really, but again, just to highlight the point I was trying to make is that number one, Aisha, you need to, use time management techniques to be able to balance your academics vis-a-vis your business, as the case may be. All right, you need to, in doing that, in managing your time, you need to prioritize. All right, prioritize your activities. You wake up in the morning, you have 9 things you want to achieve for that day. You can start to score them. All right. So if we engage further, maybe outside of these, there are a lot of techniques on you can score, all your items or to do for that day. And from there, you can pick which one is most important and reason why it's most important. Okay. So those ones are the ones that will come top. Then again, the timing, at what time will be as much as it's important. Must it be in the morning? Must it be at noon? Why should it be in the evening and all that? And then again, you need to engage in some productive tools, okay, that will help you automate some things. There are some things, especially now online, that can be automated. You're having a class, but something is happening somewhere online on your platforms. All right, so you need to engage those some of those productive tools that will help you reduce your the time you spend in getting things done. There's what we call calendaring also in terms of how to manage your time. Also calendaring, set alarms where you need to set alarms so that you don't miss out things. Okay. And I was closing by saying that we currently have um, we currently have a mentorship program ongoing. Registration has been ongoing, but we're going to commence the pairing and mentorship properly by first week of June. So if you haven't registered yet, please get to the platform, register so that you'll be paired with a mentor who will put you through, hold your hands, okay, and lead you through on how to navigate, past this challenge you are currently facing. And this is also extending to everyone on the call who have not, maybe you've not heard or you are not, you have not registered. Please, the time is running out. Register for that mentorship program, and you'll be glad you did. All right. Good afternoon. Back to you, Tyro, please.
Thank you, Chair, for that insightful comment. We move to Mohammed Sani. His hand is up. Mohammed, let's hear from you, please.
All right, good afternoon to everyone here. Like, we really appreciate this opportunity. It's a pleasure being in your midst here. So, I'm by name Muhammad Salih, the present course president in a chapter. So, we really appreciate this opportunity because let me say, it's rare out there for you to get this opportunity freely. That you don't have to pay anything in order for you to get the opportunity. But we getting it freely at our own convenience, time, and from our own places as well. Now, I think it's a very good opportunity and privilege for us. So, sir, I thank you so much. In particular, I thank you on behalf of my fellow students. We really appreciate the effort being put in place to be here today, sir. So please, I just want to use this opportunity for you to, advise us more with the students, most especially, because one thing about with the students here, the challenge like the music challenge that we are having here, most of us are here, like we feel like okay, coming into school is just for you to, come into school and after school there's a work waiting for you out there that you are going to grab. Of which at the end of the day, if it happens to be otherwise. That's when you now started to be hearing people like school is a scam. That after going to school you don't have anything like you haven't you don't have a white you can't get a white collar job. Of which is not like that because me in particular here in the school campus I own a tailoring shop here. I'm a fashion designer out there before I got into school, of which is able, and that's what I'm pushing myself with presently. So coming into university as of last 2 years ago. So then, like when I'm trying to, try to fix my own working place here in order for me to be making my earnings. There's a lot of talks out there. That this one you're not serious. You're not serious with what you are doing. You came here for school. It's not for work that you're since you know that it's work that you wanted to be doing. Why don't you then stay back there and be doing and just focus on your work and forget about school stuff? But that's a lot of us. That's the challenge. That's what I will do here from our fellow students that will kind of discourage us from going into one or two things. So despite that, I did not listen to anybody because me that I'm here, I came here by myself. I know where I'm coming from. I know what's involved for me. So at least I thank God today. I'm still on the business and as well, still trying to put eye into some other online stuff of which some of my other classmates are into kind of legally. So though it's we are finding it difficult, but with God will the glory, we are still pushing hard. So I just want to use this opportunity to thank you each and every one of you, our fathers here, our mothers, sisters, and brothers here, for enlightening us on this seminar. So, and again, so that you can just, throw some more emphasis on the importance of this thing for us. Like, if we can be able to achieve so many of these opportunities here while we are still in school, before we finish from school here and there, so that at least life out there can be kind of be more easy for us by God's grace. So that's just what I want to talk about, sir. Thank you so much. I'm really privileged to be in the midst of you all here today. Thank you so much, sir. That's all for now, sir.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for your thoughts. We acknowledge the fact that you are already engaged on your own. You are into serious entrepreneurship. May God continue to guide you in what you are doing. The fashion designing business is about one of the thriving in the country today. So what you are doing out there is not a small thing. May God continue to give you the grace to do much more of what you are doing. Thank you so much. We remember, ladies and gentlemen, we still have much more to go because the C segment of this our program is still up here, which is the panel discussion. I think our panelists should be getting themselves prepared, but I'm checking our list here so far. I've not really seen most of our logi was here before. Let me go through the panelists quickly. We have Manasseh Abimaje, that's our financial secretary. Our ex-official member, Aloji Mustafa. We have Joanne Yu Stephen. We have Barrister Martin Satojoko. And we have our Assistant Secretary General, Bello Mohammed. These are supposed to be our men and ladies who are supposed to be on our panel today to take on from UNIMAID to career success, alumni stories, and lessons. So that is the topic they are supposed to talk on today. The questions are supposed to come from those of us who are participants here. That is the way it's supposed to go, while yours sincerely will be moderating. I wouldn't know the chairman. I do not know how we're going to go about this right now because it's like our panel is not fully convened. The chairman, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We have, I think, we have Mr. Odi Friday back now. Please
Okay.
confirm if we can hear you.
Yeah,
By way
thank
of
you.
speaking.
I hope you can hear me now.
Okay, yes, but a bit louder, please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry for the technical glitches. I thought that technical glitches will only be limited to jam, but I'm fine now. Um, I'm going to be talking about uh, personal branding and networking. So before uh, personal branding can even commence, you must have a substance that you want to brand. So that should be the very foundation of whatever journey you want to make in this direction. So we'll be looking at how to explore two fundamental components of professional development, which is personal branding and networking. Those two concepts are crucial in shaping our careers and then enhancing our reputation and also opening doors of opportunity for us uh, in the competitive world that we find ourselves today. So, what are the importance of personal branding? Um, the first thing about it is that it helps us to build credibility, help us to build credibility and trust. So if you have a strong brand, people will tend to trust you the more, and then your credibility will also be an asset to you. So for instance, people that have strong brands like Dangote can easily attract more investments to them than people who doesn't have as strong a brand as that. Then a strong brand open opportunities for you. It opens opportunities for you in terms of businesses, in terms of jobs, and in terms of partnership and collaboration. Because with your strong brand, you become attractive to a lot of people. Then, sorry. So the another thing about a strong brand is that it helps you to network because people want to associate with um, the brand as well. So if you have a strong brand, it's critical to who you attract and all of them. So how do you build a strong brand? It starts by um, having a unique value proposition. So this unique value proposition means that you have to clearly define what sets you apart from others and know that is what you will bring on the table. So in some instances, what sets you apart may be how you speak. In some instances, it could be how you dress, and in some instances, it could be what you do. So it could be technical, it could be in appearance, and it could be in a lot of ways. Like the most important thing is for you to identify that this is my unique value proposition that I'm bringing on the table. So you develop your brand around what you can do best, what sells you out, what stands you out from the crowd. So that is where you develop your brand around. Mm. Then another thing is that you will have to set uh, a kind of logo that will use will be used to identify you. That means you have a consistent visual identity. You should have a consistent visual identity. For instance, politicians these days they develop their personal brand around cars. So if you see a red car, you will know that that is a purpose of coming. If you see a cat, you know that that politician is obviously coming from the Niger Delta and probably related to the Goodluck Jonathan movement. And at the same time, we are seeing the most common of all the political brands today, which is the infinity sign that we have on cars worn by the supporters of the present president. Those are brands that they have developed around and built their integrity around, and which is helping them to sell themselves. Another thing is that you must have an authentic voice, and that is what we said initially, which is substance. You cannot build on a fake. If it's built on a fake, it will not attract value because when they see the emptiness in your brand, it means that whatever you're doing will be kind of a waste. But when you develop that tone, that language that reflects your personal uh, personality and values, it will be a selling point for you any day, anytime. And then uh, you can also create a story. You know, people create stories around their brand. So when you see the story, when you see a brand, you know where it is coming from. I will still refer back to the politicians again to show us the level of branding they have done. So if you see a Tinubu supporter, the story is that he's a Jagaban. He doesn't lose election. So that is the story around that brand. And if you see a good Lord Jonathan, they talk about humility, that he never had shoes before. He doesn't have shoes before, but now God has brought him to a place where he has shoes and he can help others. And then uh, and so forth. As much as politicians uh, continue to exist, we continue to hear different stories about each one of them, which is a selling point for their brand. And at the same time, having done the the unique value proposition and being consistent with your visual identity, as well as having authentic voice, you also need to create content around it. So this whole element in branding that you have encompassed into yourself, you must as well create content so that people can see what it's all about. Um, so, having said that, having built your brand and having uh, developed your what do you call it? Having developed your visual presence and you're already having a place in the mind of people, you also have a challenge. The challenge is how do you maintain that brand? You know, in maintaining the brand, you have to be consistent with what you do across all channels, both radio, both television, on all the anywhere you see your brand. It should be consistent with the value it is delivering. It should be consistent with the message that you deliver. You also have to avoid oversharing uh, or mispresenting yourself. So if your brand is appearing or your personal self is appearing where you are not expected, it devalues you. If your brand is appearing where it's not supposed to be, it devalues you. Those are the challenges you have to face in maintaining the brand that you have built. And then, especially online, it's easy to damage reputation online these days. Take 24 hours to bring it down. And whatever you do online, you have to do it with a lot of care. Another thing you need to do is to stay authentic and then also limit yourself to high value um, environment, high value environment where people appreciate you. You stay within that circle. So in all of this that I've said, um, it's all about building your personal brand. And when you build this brand, it leads us to the next thing we want to talk about, which is networking. Brand does not just exist in a vacuum. If you build a brand, you must also attract other people to you. You attract other people to you. You don't just build the brand and let it stay. So I'll be talking about networking. So networking is the process of developing and maintaining a professional relationship that provides support, information, and opportunity throughout your career. So you may have a good brand, and if you don't network, that brand may not deliver the value it's supposed to deliver. Because in the process of networking, you have access to new opportunities, you share knowledge, and then you also give and receive support. At the same time, it helps your personal growth. So, for a good brand, why it is important for you to network is what I've spoken about in summary. You have to network so that you have access to new opportunities. Opportunities are not ending, they are always available. But when you limit yourself to not networking, not continually networking, you may lose opportunities of growth. Then We also have knowledge sharing because when you interact with people, you learn from them and they also learn from you. At the same time, you get support. So how do you do effective networking? It starts from where you find yourself and what you do with your time. First is attending industry events, conferences, meetings, workshops, and connecting with like-minded professionals. That helps you to build your network. Another way you can build your network is by joining online communities. So you participate with in activities that runs online, both on social media and all the other platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and all of those ones that are out there. So when you you participate on those online communities, it helps you to build your brand. You can also volunteer. Volunteer means that you work without pay in some instances and uh, with the view of expanding your brand because there are always room for volunteering, both on social level and also professional level. There are always opportunities to volunteer. Then reaching out to leaders of thought also helps in building great networks because when you identify people that are ahead of you and you link up with them, it helps you to build um, a growth network. Having done all of this, you need to do follow up always on all the contacts you have. You need to always have a follow up on them. So the essence of this talk is to see how we can develop our personal brand and also network with the brands we have built so that we can have uh, um, growth. Because the most successful professionals understand that personal branding and networking are interconnected. The personal brand you have it enhances your credibility within your network and it's a strong uh, it's a strong network reinforcer. Sorry, a strong network it reinforces your reputation and then it extends your reach. So if you have a strong network, it helps you to um, reinforce your reputation and it helps to extend the level of uh, how much reach you can have into the society. So to round up, um, I'll say that personal branding and networking are essential for career success um, in today's digital world. You know, by establishing a strong personal brand and building a meaningful relationship, you can increase your visibility. You can also become very credible, and then opportunities will come to you. So you have to remember that in building brands, you must have substance, you must have, you must stay authentic to your substance. You must stay authentic to whatever you're sharing, and then you must be consistent in what you're doing, and also engage with a lot of people. This will always open doors for you, and uh, brings connections and opportunities your way. Thank you all. I apologize once again for all the glitches. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time, and thank you for taking your time to overcome the challenges you face while trying to talk in the first instance. We appreciate what you've done for us this afternoon and have the belief that it will go a long way in helping us to do personal branding and networking. Let me do a recap of what he has presented here for us today. That's our brother Friday Uwodi. He talked about the visual identity. He emphasizes on it seriously and gave us reason why we should do that by making reference to the current president and the former president, the kind of identity they carve for themselves. He talked about authentic voice, that we should be able to have voice that is authentic, believable. And he talked about good content, be able to create content that people should see and say, yeah, this is something to actually believe in. But in doing that too, he made a reference to challenges we are likely to face, which is centered on maintaining the brand, which is created. He talked about the need for consistency in value and delivery. He talked about the need to avoid misrepresenting the brand. The brand has to continue to be what it is, and that requires consistency. He talked about staying authentic. That means living to the value of the brand. And he talked about limiting yourself to places where you are valued most, that the environment where you are valued, there's no need being an environment where your brand is not actually valued. Then he moved into the area of networking. He said there's need for networking for support and knowledge sharing, and there's need for follow-up contact while you are engaging in the network environment. I think that's a summary of what our brother, Mr. Friday Woody, has shared with us today. A seasoned banker of many years of experience. He was in his final year when we came to Meduguri. So it's a pleasure having you around this afternoon and for the thought you shared with us. I think at this point now, we, if there are questions on what he has presented, I think let us have a few minutes to address that before we go into the panel discussion, which is the last segment we have here this afternoon. Any thought on the last presentation, please? Thank you. If you have any thought, please, let's see your hand. While we were talking about the need for us to build our brand, to develop careers, and have something to do on our own, I got a private message from our brother, who is one of leading the lead for one of our committees, Yakubu Halilullah. He said he's involved in a car dealership. That's what he's doing. I think he's going to the highest level. But those of us who have what it takes to get a car, but you have people who need car, I think I easily contact him so that you can patronize what he is doing. Please, the floor is very much open for what what the last speaker said, so that we can make a contribution. If you have questions too, you can also answer. While we are in the thought process, please let me appreciate you all for your presence here this afternoon. We know this is our maiden seminar and it's centered on career development. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you so profoundly. Our elders who are here, I appreciate you. Honorable Benjamin Okolo, from the beginning, you've been there. Elder Ubuche, you've been there. Barrister Joshua, you've been there. And members of the ESCO that are here, I appreciate you all so profoundly. And our dear students who have been hooked up to this program from the beginning, have been asking insightful questions and making contribution, I also appreciate you all. Please, the floor is still open because we have one more segment to go, as I said earlier on, so that we can go and round off for this program so that everybody can return to some one or two things we need to do over this weekend. Thank you very much. It's all right. We go into, there's still more as we continue. There's still provision for questions to be coming up later. we go into panel discussion quickly. As I said earlier, our panel discussion is centered on from UNIMAID to, okay, the chairman wants to talk. Mr. Chairman, sir, the floor is open, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, the moderator. Great work you are doing. God bless you. More grease to your elbow, as they will say it. Thank you, our speaker, Mr. Woody, for doing justice to personal branding and networking. Very critical, especially in this age. All right. So there are some things that may not be so loud, but that are happening and are affecting us on a daily basis. All right. Some of us, especially younger ones, may not know that as it stands now, employers they research candidates online. Yes, employers research. They don't just play by your CV you have submitted. Okay, they look at your CV, interview physically. No, 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 no. Beyond that interview, first interview, or beyond your CV, employers have different tools they use to go all out online to research what you have been doing over the years. All right. What brand have you built for yourself over the years on Twitter, now X, on Facebook, all right, as the case may be, on Instagram, okay, TikTok? What have been on LinkedIn? What have been your activities in these spaces over time? Not just now that you're looking for work, all right? While you were a student, what were you doing? Do you have a profile on LinkedIn? Do you contribute to your industry, to your field, topical issues that are affecting the society? Do you ask questions? Do you engage? All right. So there are many ways we can enhance the opportunity, okay, for us to be successful. Thankfully, technology has, for me, made a lot of things easy for us today compared to back then. Back then, without phone, without internet, and all that. But today, there are many things, many ways you can build yourself up. The result may not come now. You may not even know how the result will come, but you must be doing that which is right at all times. Let me tell you something. In 2008, for whatever that inspired me, all right, I curated an organization called Oh My Galauchi from zero. As at last time I checked, at least we have over 60,000 members, okay, worldwide. Then I did not know what that will evolve into. 10 years later, the recognition and impact that organization has given me, the doors it has opened for me, I couldn't have imagined that when I was, building that. But again, contents were putting in, were sharing, values were adding, were things that any sane person want to associate with, okay, that brand. All right. So we must be, like he said, we must be intentional about building our brands. We must be consistent when we build our brand. All right. Because they will eventually help us to establish authority in our fields of endeavor, in whatever field you have decided, to play. Your brand will help you establish authority. The biggest job I've ever done in my life, as in paid job, was via online. Yes, I belong to an institute, okay, Project Management Institute, I will say. All right, I'm a member of Project Management Institute, and someone from online, from our platform there, picked my details from there and gave me a call. Let's meet for a chat on Saturday. And that became one turning point, huge turning point for me in my life. So we must network while building our brand. So two key things: build your brand, okay, then two, network, and you have the world at your finger. Thank you. Back to you, moderator, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, my chair, for that incisive contribution. We go into the panel discussion. I said earlier, the theme of discussion is from UNIMAID to career success, alumni stories and lessons. And on our panel, we have Manasseh Abimaje, our current financial secretary, Aloje Mustafa, who is our ex-official, Joan Yu Steve, the better half of our chair, who is our proud alumnus, we have Barrister Martins at Tojoko, we have Bello Mohammed, Assistant Secretary General. So they are going to answer questions in respect of from UNIMAID to career success, alumni stories, and lessons. And this session is designed to last for 25 minutes, including both the discussion, the responses, and questions asked. So please, members of the panel, I do not know how many of them are available right now. I can see who is available here. The chairman's hands is up again. Chair, your thought, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Apologies for that. So for whatever reasons, we don't so much have a lot of those names on that's supposed to pick up the panel on the call right now. So, but again, we have some senior members of the alumni here who can serve, who can address any concern, address any question as the case may be. So, we can yield the floor to students or newly graduated members of the alumni, or any member also who have questions or whatever. There are great people here who are willing to address your questions or your concerns as the case may be. So we are all panelists now. Thank you.
It's all right.
Back to you.
The chairman has moderated the panel. So every one of us here now is a member of the panel. That's the moderation. That is the adjustment we have on the panel list. So now it is very clear. Questions surrounding for UNIMAID to career success. The young ones who are here, those of us who are still aspiring to go higher, have what it takes to learn from one thing or the other. That is some of our elders, in terms of experience, in terms of age, who are here, have gone through. So they can share with us. So questions, please. I will have to emphasize on the students who are in our midst here because it is much more important for them to listen to this particular session. Aisha Ibrahim Suleiman is here. We have Grace Oladele, who is here. We have Teni Mokai. We have Onu Adam, who has been coming, who has been on and off. Yeah, Adams, who has been on and off. Mohammed Sani, who has made a spectacular contribution. And then we have Cinderella, who is here. So I think this is going to be very, very important for them to listen to. I am not saying that the alumni are not going to benefit from this, but I know that by the time you share this experience, the students will have a lot to gain from. Thank you very much. The floor is open now. And as I'm saying this, while questions are coming in, I would like to implore on our elder in our midst. I'm referring to Honorable Benjamin Okolo. Please be getting yourself prepared to answer questions that are coming, sir, because these young ones want to hear from you. Thank you very much. And Barrister Joshua Ako, please get yourself prepared so that, as we say, all of us are panel, but I want to have leading members of the panel who will help us to address some of the questions that are coming up. Thank you very much. Aisha Ibrahim, ask question. Grace Oladele, ask question. Tenim Okai, ask question. Mohammed Sani, ask question. Cinderella, ask questions. Adams, ONU, please ask questions. Thank you. Yes, okay, you are very much free to make your questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I am Uchimana Mokai, the current president of our Igala Student Association. I want to especially greet all the members of the executive and equally recognize the presence of the former chairman of the Kenya local government. So thank you. Without further or without bothering you with commentaries, my question is with respect to uh, registration of company names because I heard the one of the speakers spoke about rebranding, and I believe rebranding has to come with a company or having a company that is registered, which means we would like to understand or would need to understand how company registration is done in Nigeria. So I don't know if anybody can assist us with the steps and even the amount that is required in establishing a company and how to go about it. So that's my question, sir. In short, my question is about company registration, the amount required, and what it takes, what it requires to have a company registered within Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I think that question is very, very clear. Uh, what it takes to register a company in Nigeria. I think that's what he's asking about. Please, our elders in the house who are very much experienced in the area of enterprise, this question is for you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, barrister.
Okay, that's fine. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I I joined pretty late because I've been on my tours. I went to the airport to pick up my friend and my brother who was coming to town from Europe this morning, and so this is when I just came back home to log in. I've been able to follow some discussions as it were going on. Very interesting, and I want to thank the organizer of this program for the effort the industry put together. This is one thing that we did not have the privilege of enjoying during our time when we were growing up as a student. So the students, the current student now, think it is an achievement for you, a springboard where you can grow. Without uh, wasting time on the preliminaries. The questions concerning the registration of company, that is what I want to talk about. There are three types of companies. One is a business name, which is otherwise called sole proprietorship. And the second one is a company limited by liability, or liability company. The third one is IT, uh, that fall into the category of NGO, churches, and all these corporates, international corporate organization, if you want to register. Uh, it takes a bit of effort to you to register uh, the last two that I mentioned. That is a company limited by shares and NGOs. Regarding that ones, if you want to register a company limited by share, things has been made simpler now. You can register a company from the comfort of your home, your comfort of your room, but many people run into troubled waters and they'll get back to the professionals who knows how to handle that. So all you need to do is, first of all, know or think about the names I want to register. Preferably you can select like 2 or 3 companies name in case the first one on the priority is denied, then you can fall back to the second one or the third one, as the case may be. When that is done, you know, the company, limited liability company, have category of shares. You can register share of 100 share, 200 shares, 500 share capital, 1 million share capital, and on and on. So it depends on which one you want to register then, and that will give you the amount because you're going to pay stamp duty at the Federal Inland Revenue. And after paying stamp duty, you pay registration fee at CAC. When all the documents are put together and they are cross-checked, then a few days or week after the registration, the certificate will come up. What you need to do again is your certificate. I mean, sorry, you present by company limited by shares. Before now, one person cannot be a director, but as it is now, it appears an individual can be a director of a company and he can go. So what I mean before now is that you and your partner or you and somebody you trusted can be a director, a subscriber to what is it called? A company limited by share. So both of you present your particulars, such as your name, your address, your email address, telephone number, and signatures. So those are part of the things that are required. So the amount of money that you need to pay depends on the share capital of the company that you are registering. So nobody can tell you categorically that this is how much it is. But if you tell me the share capital you're going to register, I can put 1 and 2 together and give you the figure, including my professional fees. So, but for business name, which is proprietorship, I think the fee is 10,000 naira or thereabouts. Yes. One person can register just company, present your name, your address, your signature, and the telephone number. That is after the name has been approved and reserved for you. You pay 10,000 naira, and thereafter, few days or thereabout, your certificate will be ready. And from there, you now begin to do your business. But prior to the registration, the law permits that as regard to business, then you can do your business for 28 days before the registration. It is quite allowed for you to go engage in the business that you want to incorporate or you want to register period to your registration of the company. So 28 days before the registration, it is allowed. For IT, that is incorporated trustees, where churches, NGO, and most religious bodies are under. That is a big complex. It requires the name that you want to register with, the publications in the newspaper to show that the board of trustees that are going to spearhead that such organizations are not criminal or they do not have any criminal records. That is why their name will be published in the national dailies so that whoever reads the newspaper may complain to the Corporate Affairs Commission that this organization, that this person's name is found to be one of the proposed board of trustees, XYZ issue, he has committed XYZ crime in the past. So as such, you shouldn't be allowed to belong to such organization. So once such petitions is received at Corporate Commission, the Corporate Commission will now let the subscriber know that that particular name is not fit and proper to be among the board of trustee. So publication will be done for 21 days. And once the publication goes on, whether anybody reads it or not, the law, it is assumed that it is in the public domain. So after 21 days or thereabout, the NGO or the churches can be registered. That the amount that is involved depends basically who handle it for you. But officially, I think it's 37,000 naira or thereabout, yes. 37,000 naira. That is after the publications of newspaper, 2 dailies. The name of the proposed board of trustees will be published in the daily, in the national dailies. And after that period of time, you can put your documents together, then take it to CAC, and your NGO, your churches, your religious body, as the case may be, will be registered. Incorporated trustee does not have share capital. That is why it's called an NGO, non-governmental organization. You don't pay tax, unlike business names and company limited by shares. So because of that, you don't have to go to stamp duty to pay stamp duty fee before such companies or such corporation is registered at CAC. Basically, these are a few things that are done before the companies are registered at the Corporate Affairs Commission. So if there is any question in that regard, maybe you can now deal with it as the questions comes. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Barrister. I think that was much more elaborate than my brother Tenim would have expected. I think you have learned quite a lot from what Barrister has said. And I want to believe that the barrister is very much available for you to enter inbox with and discuss much more with any other thing you want to do so that you can actually address your problem. Thank you very much, Barrister, once again. The chairman's hand is up. Automatically, we have to give him the floor first before we go to Mohammed Sani. Chairman, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Barrister Joshua, for doing justice to that question. I just want to give it a little other perspective, all right? So Tanim and others who may be listening, your question borders on, okay, how can you build personal branding without, registering your business also? So there are two things there. One is your personal brand, all right, which is about your own reputation, your expertise, and your own influence. That is your personal brand. So your starting point always must be your personal brand, all right? It is your personal brand that you're going to leverage to build your business, to register your business, and begin to even brand your business. It is your personal brand that will open doors for you at the end of the day. Okay, so you must not register a company for you to start branding yourself. Okay, for instance, if you are a website designer, you must not have a business, okay, that is registered for you to start designing websites. All right, you can start doing what branding yourself, what you do here and there and all that, using all platforms and all that. It is at scale, essentially at scale. That is when you now say, okay, let me incorporate a business name, or let me incorporate a limited liability company, okay, as the case may be, so that I can scale up, the volume of what I can do, get more team to join me, or okay, so that we can take this further. So final thought on this is your personal brand is your most valuable assets. Okay, So start from there, okay? Refine it tomorrow. Then again, incorporate it whenever you think it's due for scale. Thank you very much. Back to you, moderator, please.
Thank you very much, the chairman. I think we'll go to Mohammed Sani now. Is Mohammed there?
Once again, sir. Sir, my question. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
All right, sir. So my question is based on the branding as well. So a situation whereby you have like about three to two to three business that you wanted to register, though it's one name and that of logo you wanted to use in your own brand. But when it comes to registration, like are you going to register it like differently, or is going to be all at once? Someone is going to register it, for example, kind of someone that is doing website, web design, car dealer, some other business, but it's still going to be the same name that you're going to use. Are we going to kind of register it differently, or is something that okay one can just do together at once? That's my question, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, I think we can hear him very well. He's saying whether you can have multiple companies registered differently or whether they can be registered under one name. So, expert in the house, please address the question. The chair, nobody wants to talk. I think
All right.
You can bail us out here.
All right, fantastic. So that we can get this done with over at once. Well, so it depends. Thank you very much, Mohammed Sani, for that question. It depends on how related those business lines are. All right, there are some service offerings that are related that can come under one umbrella, and each of them will now come as a service under that umbrella. When I mean umbrella, under that entity, company, as the case may be. So you can have Mohammed Sani and Co. as a company, all right, that is into importation of cars, that is into importation of other items. But basically, what you do is you import different products. You can also have Mohammed Sani and Co. as one company. You do importation of cars, all right. You also do maintenance of cars. You also do upgrading of cars. So these are not now services under the same company. It will not, and I will not advise you as a brand really to say, okay, we have Mohammed Sani Tech, Mohammed Sani Tech service offerings. You do cyber security, you do software development, then you do agriculture. You see that it doesn't go. So I'd rather, if you have anything that is related to agriculture, all right, you, depending on the agriculture anyway, it doesn't mean that when even that tech, we have tech in agriculture these days. So it depends on what service offerings you have. So always collect your items, and group them under one company. Today you have the likes of Dangote, okay, as the group, name. We have Dangote Sugar, we have Dangote Refinery, we have Dangote different, and these are different entities, but under one brand name, which is called Dangote. So sit yourself down, look at all the services you want to offer now to start with. Based on that, give it a name. If you are smart enough, okay, and you see the future, you can give it a name that any other thing can come under it. Just like Dangote, I told you about Dangote. Okay, so Dangote, anything can be Dangote Sugar, Dangote Oil, Dangote fertilizer, Dangote whatever. Okay, you have Dancer also, which is under Dangote. So when coining or branding your entity, a couple of things will come into play, and you must factor that so that you don't get it wrong. Thank you. Back to you, moderator, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we have heard that very clearly. The day is fast spent, and we're gradually coming to the end of this program. Just a quick reminder: intermittently, you have been seeing the airtime flashing on the screen. The chairman has been sharing that with us. We have for Airtel, we have for Glo, we have for MTN. Is open to all participants at this conference. So please, as you are seeing it flashing, if your finger is very fast, that is open for you. You grab it quickly. And the second prize for the day is cash prize of 15,000 naira, and that will go to 3 students, 5,000 naira for each of them. The criteria for doing that is very, very close to our chest. When we are announcing, we announce appropriately. I'll give reason for presenting to the winners. And the grand prize will also go to the students, and the criteria is also very close to our chest too. We'll announce that the criteria at the point of representation to the winner. We thank you so much for your time. I think at this point now, I wouldn't know whether the chairman will have one or two things to say before I do a recap of what we have done here today. Chairman, sir.
No, the time is fast spent, so we can proceed with other items, please. Thank you.
It's all right. Thank you very much, sir. Let me do a quick recap of what we have listened to today as far as this seminar is concerned. The first segment of our seminar, which was the opening session, we have had our keynote speaker, Dr. Mohamed Onankpa, of the Faculty of Communication. I got to know that it has already changed, Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, Prince Abubakar Audu University, Ayingba, who talked to us on navigating the evolving job market. That should be in Nigeria. And he emphasized on the need for us to incorporate artificial intelligence into what we are doing, because that is the aim thing today. You talk of networking, meeting people. You talk of internship and volunteering, that we should endeavor to do job without pay and be learning under people. And you talk about building personal brand. Those are the key four things he asked us to do. But there's also the side of government, which he talks about the need for curriculum that will meet the current job market on the part of government. And then from there, we move to our dear sister, Zamani, who did quite a lot we talked a lot on the issue of industry insight and employability skills. She did talk on the need for us to have skills in coding, data analysis, cybersecurity. You say we should try to be problem solvers on the spot, not that you just go, you think before you know, just be a problem solver on the spot. Talk about the need for us to put our mind into the issue of green economy and climate change. The evolving healthcare sector is also a gold mine for us to explore. She also talked about the need for us to build emotional intelligence, to be self-aware, a great mindset, believe in what we can do, and have the humility to be mentored by those around us. The emphasis on that particular one is that you don't need to have a mentor far away from your mentor, should be close to you, that you can be on that close watch. And above all, she emphasized the need for us to be of good behavior, because she called it the diamond. And from there, we move to our brother, Abel James, who actually talked on career paths, that entrepreneurship and alternative career paths. And his emphasis was basically on two things, the agri-tech, which he called the most viable opportunity in this country today, and then e-commerce. He asked us to embrace these two sectors very, 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 very well. And then the final discussion we had today was from our brother Friday Woody, a seasoned banker, who talked on personal branding and networking. He dwells extensively on visual identity, on the need for us to have an authentic voice if we want to build a brand and to have good content. In doing that, he emphasized on some challenges that we must face why doing that, which include the need for us to be consistent in value and delivery, the need for us to avoid misrepresenting the brand itself, the need to stay authentic, and the need to limit yourself to an environment that you are highly valued. And to round off his own session, he emphasized the need for us to have networking, for support and knowledge sharing, and of course following it up with contact as far as the network is concerned. And then we've had thought-provoking contributions from our elders in the house on the issue that have to do with branding and corporate initiative. I think we've heard a lot from there. I want to thank everyone who has been on this call here today as I now quickly hand over the microphone before we go into the issue of announcement as far as the winners of today's prize are concerned. Before we go into that, I want to yield the floor to the vice chairman of this our great association, my big brother, Mr. Shaka Sule, to make some announcement, please. The vice chairman.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. I have the privilege of our chairman to make few announcements for our information and compliance, please. Um, the state of the association address comes up on the 31st of this month. That is next week, Saturday. I think further details about that will roll in before that day. And then there's also the issue of the mentorship program that is also in place. We're all encouraged to participate either as mentee or mentors. And then we're calling on all our alumni to join all these activities. We are to participate in the State of the Union address coming up as already announced. So these are the few announcements I've been asked to make here. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you so much, our wonderful and dynamic vice chair. At this point, it's a real a great honor for me to yield the floor now to our chairman who has been very proactive. I think if I will have to choose who to work with as far as association, in fact, in other areas of endeavor in life, if you give me choice to choose who to work with, I think I will not blink eye before I know who should lead me in moving forward as far as issue of moving together with people, sharing ideas, and even entrepreneurship is concerned. I'm talking about our great chairman of this association, Mr. Stephen Ojonogwa, to make announcement on our prize winners here today. The chairman, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, our more than able moderator, for the time and all that you do. Okay. Without further ado, we earlier announced a couple of things that we stand to gain in the course of this seminar, one of which is the airtime. I'm sure a couple of us have loaded some, though nobody has indicated that he or she has loaded some of this airtime. But please enjoy your airtime. It's yours. It's fine. The rest of the airtime, of course, will still be, up for loading on our respective platforms, whether on a cost level, alumni level. Some airtimes as giveaways will be there also. All right. So for the second category of the prizes, we have 3 people who will be winning 5K each from this seminar. The first person is for appearing on this seminar and making contributions. 5K goes to Mohammed Sani. Mohammed Sani. Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for him. All right. Second person for being the second to join the call and being consistent all through, present all through the time of this seminar. 5K goes to Grace Oladele, current student of UNIMAID. Let's give it up for her. Give it up for her. Then the third one is for being the third, okay, to appear and to stay full time through the course of the cost of the program also, 5K goes to Tenim Okai. Tenim Okai. All right. So the big prize, the top prize, which is a laptop, okay, a brand new laptop, not used laptop, a brand new laptop. You may want to ask, okay, so what's qualified this person to take home this laptop? Okay. Um, for being the first to join the call, for being the first also to ask questions, okay, and for staying, consistent on the group. The laptop price goes to our sister Aisha Ibrahim Suleiman. Aisha Ibrahim Suleiman. So thank you all, the committee. Thank you for putting this together in this manner. Thank you, our speakers, those who presented and also stay with us all through. Thank you all participants on the call and on the other platforms. We really appreciate your time. This is the edition, the first edition, and be sure that in the course of the year, we'll have another opportunity again to come together to see how we can add value to ourselves, because for us, value exchange is the essence of really good and healthy relationship. You give and take and all that. So that's all for me on this prize giving item. Please, all the winners, ensure you send your details, contact the secretary, public secretary, and send your details for onward transmission of the prizes you have won. Back to you, please, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and congratulations to the winners of our respective prizes. We hope that it will go a long way in solving few problems you might have. We don't really have much to give, but with God on our side, we'll continue to try the best we can to be of help to the upcoming ones. We really, really appreciate your presence here this afternoon. As the chairman has said, please, those of you, especially those who have the cash prize, please, you forward your account details to my inbox, and your prize will be directly forwarded to you as quickly as possible. For the vote of thanks, and which will be combined with closing prayers, I will yield the floor to our energetic Secretary General, my dear brother, Malam Abdul Karim Ejiga, to commit us into the hand, to do a vote of thanks and commit us into the hands of our Creator. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Thank you for doing me this honor. I I want to thank you most sincerely, our dear resource persons, the expo members, and the students who have taken time out of their very busy schedules to be on this call this afternoon. We have taken a lot of lessons from the discussions so far, and I want to thank you so very much for everything. I want to believe and hope sincerely that you all make, especially our students, very good use of the lessons we have learned today. Thank you so very much. Sami Allah Nabiyu Karim.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Thank you so very
Amen.
much. Yes, have a
Amen.
fruitful weekend. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank
Amen.
you for your time. Thank you for your call. Thank you for the patience, for your contribution, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.